This can't be. I'm in shock. Even before the fight, I was inclined to think that if the fight reached the final bell, then it would most likely be Bivol's victory. But in the end, one of the most unexpected outcomes happened. Beterbiev won by decision of the judges, and the reaction to this decision was ambiguous. Fans on social networks are already writing about the shame of boxing and the money of Saudi sheikhs, and some famous personalities are ridiculing this outcome and saying that it's a robbery. I, like most people, was wrong in my prediction, and first of all, I would like to congratulate Artur on this difficult victory, and I do not think that his victory was a robbery. He deservedly became the absolute world champion, and here is why further in my video. Guys, and before I start, I would like to fulfill my promise. Because I lost a bet with my viewer Yanjul Y5N. In this comments to this video, we argued that if Bivol loses, I admit that I was wrong. So I admit that my prediction did not come true and you won, Yanjul Y5N. If you are watching, I congratulate you and all my other viewers on your victory. You are great. But remember, there was no knockout. The guys entered the ring concentrated. As expected, Bivol started the fight actively, but at the same time, he did not boldly go forward. He preferred to throw numerous punches from a distance. Beterbiev openly looked at his compatriot hiding behind a high block. Dmitry, by the way, threw not only punches for points, periodically throwing power hooks. Artur missed a couple of times, but also delivered several hits to his opponent. The first round turned out to be emotional, with a slight advantage for Bivol. In the second round, Dmitry finally secured the center of the ring. While his opponent, in his style, occasionally caught the corners, Bivol's fast jabs looked very good, while Beterbiev lacked activity. Artur slowly probed the gaps in his compatriot's defense, sometimes landing a counterpunch. In the third round, the toughness of the fight began to gradually increase, which rather should have played into Artur's hands. Little by little, Beterbiev implemented the tactics that were expected of him. By cutting corners, he tried to lock Bivol against the ropes. However, Dmitry moved easily on his feet and almost never found himself in truly dangerous situations. It was surprising to see that Bivol threw far fewer punches than usual. Apparently, his coaching staff decided to use their strength more economically and pay more attention to defense. Beterbiev also took good care of his gas tank. In the fifth round, Dmitry missed several hard jabs, and Artur also received a couple of hits to the body. Artur gradually found his boxing and seemed that the fight was becoming comfortable for Beterbiev. Bivol tried to escape by working on his feet, but he got a lot. With each round, Artur accelerated and now he felt comfortable in the center of the ring. But Bivol also counterattacked well. In the seventh round, he carried out several good series, breaking through his opponent's defense. It was unclear what was in the judges' cards at that moment, but Beterbiev seemed to definitely be taking the middle of the fight after a weak start. As is often the case in the fights of this level, everything was to be decided by the championship rounds, and starting from the 9th 3-minute period, Bivol began to add momentum. He threw more punches, more often connected to series work. Dmitry caught his pace, but Artur was not going to lose his either. One was moving quickly and throwing not the strongest punches. The other was cutting the angles and trying to catch the opponent at the ropes. Bivol's defense was very good. Beterbiev was tirelessly throwing powerful punches and actively pressing. That's how all the rounds went, including the final one. Artur was unable to knock out his opponents for the first time. One of the judges saw a draw, 114-114. The other two gave the victory to Artur, 115-113 and 116-112. Perhaps this score 116-112 is really too much, and the fighters were very even according to statistics. According to CompuBox, Bivol even slightly beat Beterbiev in the number of hits and in accuracy. 142 hits from Dmitry with an accuracy of 33.6%, 137 hits by Beterbiev, 20.1% accuracy. In terms of power punches, Artur has a slight advantage, 90-84, but at the same time Beterbiev threw 682 punches, 259 more than Bivol. Yes, many were blocked, but it still had an effect. Blocked punches also caused problems for Bivol, but even more so was the constant pressure from Beterbiev, due to which he constantly pinned Bivol, tightly invested in punches, and this pace became a serious obstacle for Dmitry. Despite the fact that he outpunched his opponent, most of them were jabs. This is the cost of Dmitry's boxing. His job in the ring is to outplay, something like a tag match, where you need to touch your opponent more and more often. Beterbiev works in a more aggressive style. He's focused on damage, and this affects the judges. For example, Bivol will hit with 2 or 3 loose punches, and then he will be pinned against the ropes under a hail of punches. Even if most of them are blocked, the judges will most likely give the opposite to Beterbiev. Even the statistics by rounds show that Bivol only had a noticeable advantage in punches in the first 2 rounds, but in the rest everything is very close and can be given in any direction. In some rounds, Dmitry was very pinched, almost did not throw punches. There was no robbery. The scorecards could have been different, of course, but it certainly couldn't have been that Bivol was robbed of the victory. Dmitry became a hostage of his style. It's just that what Beterbiev does is valued more by the judges. Hence the verdict. Artur outworked Bivol with tempo and did it at almost 40 years old. So far, Beterbiev is beating both his opponents and his age. Everything is more than deserved. Stay safe, stay tuned. Bye-bye! If Bivol lost 112 and 112